I've been going through the comments on the YouTube, the most recent comments, and I see lots of comments just like you. It's nice to look at them. And of course, we know things are planned out. That's just a simple statement. It's all planned out, as if we don't know. Everything that happens, it happens for a reason. My side of my hair. So when you think of this presidency that happens, Trump becomes president. Hello, the Dawn. How you doing? How you doing this morning? Yeah, good morning. I was downstairs with Rosie, my cat, but then I come up here because I thought, oh, my husband's getting up now. I won't even be able to do my live video. So I come up here because the thought has just entered my mind. I had to stop and just come up here all of a sudden. Good morning. We all have plans that we make inside our heart. We all have them. You say, I don't make plans. I just wing it. There are times in your life, your everyday life, where when you plan on doing something, you've already made up your mind you're going to do this or that, whether it go get a drink of water at that very moment in time. And of course, things are planned out. Just say I wanted to go like do this live stream. I could have sat down there and thought, oh, the moment I'm getting ready to do this live stream, then my husband wakes up. And now I can't do my live stream in the living room. That was my plan. I was going to sit in that chair with my little baby Rosie. Hey, Ronnie, honey. And I was going to do my live stream right there. That was my plan. But then I hear him get up, and I thought, well, my plans have been rearranged. I'm going to come up here in my little studio, and I'm going to do my live video up there. But I still had a plan, and my plan is now still following through. That's just a tiny example. That's right, Ronnie. We can shift those gears. There is nothing but a thing. That's what my stepdad Ken would say. Ain't nothing but a thing. Yeah. So, yeah, we can make plans in our life, and there are plans that have been made in every single country when it comes to government and elections and all of that. But we don't always know how everything's going to play out. If there is a scripture, in his heart, man makes his plans, but God determines his footsteps. God determines the outcome. The universe determines whether or not your plan, what you intend to do, is going to succeed. That bad that you've intended for someone else, the universe is going to determine whether or not that bad is going to work out. And see, that's what happens because we have this thing called karma. Karma is the thing. It's like this great big circle of life. It has a way of coming right back around. Boom. Just like that. It does. You reap what you sow. Um, you do good. You hope people would do the same good in return, if not to you, to someone else. Like pass it on. It's like when you drive up to you go get something to eat. They had this thing where you just pass it on. You pay for the person's meal behind you. Yeah. It's just like planting seeds. You plant your seeds and you hope something good grows from them. You plant them with love and kindness, and you water them, and you water the ground, and the plant starts coming through, and you take care of it and you nurture it, and it produces fruit. Yeah. Um, you get what you give. That's right, Ronnie, honey. Yeah. Y'all got to make sure you get rest. I slept so good last night. I did. My last video of the night is after I went to sleep after that, which is wonderful, and woke up around 4:30 in the morning. We got the energy boomerang. That's right, we do. So good morning. So there is a plan that's set forth in action. Wow, there's not too many comments on here. Algorithm. Algorithm. That's okay, you all. It's fine. Yeah. Listen, Watchy honey, you make witchy honey. Go to the Lord, no karma. It's Jesus' providence. Witchy honey. It goes by another phrase. You reap what you sow. Okay. That's another word for karma. It's just a different word. but you truly do reap what you sow on this earth. And in some instances, what you reap, you don't get it. It's like good things happen to bad people, bad things happen to good people. The righteous get what the wicked deserve, and the wicked get what the righteous deserve. It's karma plays out. We just use that word. It's a big word that people are familiar with. You reap what you sow. You do. And sometimes when you sow bad things, those bad things come back at you, perhaps not in the manner that you did it, but in a way that you didn't do it and a time that you least expect it. You do bad, it's going to come back on you somehow, some way. And it may not be immediate, it may be months, it may be years, but there is energy to the bad that's done. There's energy to the good that's done. Yes, yeah. I don't even care, Weechi, what kind of word karma is. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't. What matters is the intention inside my heart. Let me know. No, no, see, I'm not going to argue over words. I'm not. I'm not. Hello, grand rising, everybody. Yeah, that's right. It's fine if it's Hindu. It's fine if it's Jamaican. It's fine if it's Old English. It's fine if it's Spanish. It's fine if it's French. It's fine. I don't care. In the big scope of life, it's a distraction. That comment was a spiritual distraction. It was a tool of division. It was. That's fine. That's fine. We make our plans. When you say the election of Trump, it's all planned out. Of course it's planned out. Do you not make plans in your life? No, I do not. If you plan to go to that sink, get you a drink of water, or if you plan to open up that refrigerator and get you something to eat and you get sidetracked, that means your plans got rearranged. You had it in you already decided you was going to go get you something to eat or walk down the stairs or get up out of that bed. It's a plan. It is. But sometimes our plans don't always pan out the way that we want them to at the time we want them to. We all make plans. We do. Yeah. Um, Let me do this. I'm telling, listen to me. Be very careful before you make your comments on this channel. I am not in a playing mood. I ain't got time for nonsense. I don't. I don't, because if you're going to write comments on here just to cause division, and you know that's your intent, as soon as the words are in your heart and they come out of your mouth, you're saying that comment just to cause division, just to be oppositional. That's what you're doing. Just to be oppositional. Yeah. Hello. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, that's okay. You can be late to a party. Yeah. Um, no, it doesn't matter. It does not matter the origin of a word. It really doesn't. That's literally, if you keep on biting and gnawing at one another, watch out, or you're going to be destroyed by one another. Is that what you want to do? You want to continue down a path of divisiveness? Do you want to go down the path of where you disagree with everything everybody says in life? Is that the life you want to live? You got to completely go the exact opposite because that's how you're feeling. No, no. Some people are like that. Yeah. Um, it's chilly. We all make plans. We all make plans. If you don't like me saying this, because I'm referring to a comment that was made on the YouTube channel under the video of the election of Donald J. Trump as the 47th president of the United States, because someone said it's all planned. I agree with them. It's all planned. We all make our plans, not just for that. We make plans in our everyday life. I planned on doing my live stream down there on the recliner with my little baby Rosie, honey. But now you see that I'm up here because my plans got rearranged, but it still didn't stop me. I'm still doing it, just in a different location of my house. So I make plans too. Is it going to stop me from doing it? No, it's not. Things happen and plans get rearranged. And sometimes what we want to is like when you want the perfect, say you go on a date and you have everything planned out, you got this date, you want it to be a beautiful evening with whoever you're with, and then things happen and it feels like everything went wrong, but you still had your evening. It just got rearranged. That's all. It still took place. Yeah. It's not the end of the world. It's not, don't they know it's the end of the world? It started when I something fell for you. That's right. God has plans. For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. That's perfect, independent thinker. Perfect. That is the best statement I've seen yet on the people say it's all planned out. That's the best statement right there. Even God has plans. I love it. I do love it. They got to roll with the punches. All the more to have plans. You've got to have plans. You've got to plan for your future. Sometimes people plan what they want to say. And it says, don't think beforehand what you're going to say because you will be given the words. You ever had it where there's been so many preachers and so many speakers, they've had plans. They had it all written out. They were going to say this. They were going to talk on that. When they get right up there to that podium, they're finding out in their spirit, okay, I'm not supposed to talk about this. And they get a different mood that comes upon them, a different feeling or whatever. And boom, they talk about something totally different. Yeah, you can make all your plans you want. You can. Sometimes they're going to get rearranged, but that's okay. That is. I'm just going to tell you, this is not a channel where you're going to come in and throw in comments to where you are going to be oppositional, totally oppositional, totally on that divide and conquer path. You're not going to do that. I never have I ever liked that on this channel? Never. I've never liked it in my whole entire life. I haven't. Because the energy, I can feel the energy that comes with people's words. Oh, I didn't mean nothing. Hello, your words have the energy that came out of your heart, frequency that came from your heart when you speak them out. They have that frequency as soon as they come from your heart and out of your mouth. Your words are powerful. Yeah. Marin, you're welcome. You are. And there's some people that don't agree with me, and you may not agree with the way that I do this live stream. You may not agree with the way that I do any video. You may not agree with the way that I deliver a message, that I got something to say. You may not agree with it because that's not how you're going to say it. You may be totally against it because you may want me to have the words that you want me to have with the energy that you want me to have. You may want me to get on here and argue and be divisive and do all the speaking down and stepping all over you. Words? No, I'm not. Not. I'm not going to do it. I got to take off my sock. I take off my shoes now. You're making me have a hot flash. That's right. We got to be. No, there's plans for everything. There is. I got plans today. I don't know what they are at the moment because I haven't sat and thought about them. I am one who literally just do it. Whatever comes to my mind at times, I know what I want to do, what I need to get done. And I cannot tell you I can tell you there is not a single day in my life that what I want to do in any given day gets rearranged. There's not one that it does not happen in. My whole day. Um, it's been my whole life. My whole life. It's very rare for me to do everything that I might want to do. It's rare because something always comes up and my plans get rearranged. My whole day. But it doesn't ruin my day. I still go ahead and do it. It's like a lot of other people. You may have your whole life like that too. You need to pack your husband's lunch. You go do that, Joyce, honey. That's wonderful. I used to do that. Used to pack my husband's lunch. Used to iron his uniform for work. I would always iron his BDUs, his military dress. One time, it was back in Berlin. My husband, his BDUs were not, they had some wrinkles in them. Let's say I didn't get them folded in time. He said, I can't wear these. These need ironed. And he liked starch on them. I was 9. I was pregnant with my second child. And when you get pregnant, you get a little moody. I put a whole entire can, and it was a great big can of starch on his BDU pants and his BDU battle dress uniforms, the camouflage, and on his jacket, the overcoat. I ironed that and I let it dry and I sprayed more. It was so flat. There was not a single wrinkle in it. I'm pregnant and I'm using up the whole entire can. It was a full can in Berlin. It was so stiff. And I gave him his uniform. I said, here you go. Here's your uniform. I'm not going to forget about it. I'm not. His uniform had some wrinkles in it. And they weren't bad. I would have wore them. Oh, no. Yeah, I was pregnant and I was a little bit moody. I'm never really a real moody person, but I was moody that day. Oh, they didn't get no wrinkles in them regardless, even after he wore them. There was so much cornstarch in them. And even after they were washed, they still had that cornstarch in them. Yeah, it was kind of funny. So if you hear somebody say BDUs, it's a battle dress uniform. It's the everyday uniform that some people wear unless they're going into the office, even in the military. Then you'll wear your dress uniform. But in some instances, you see a lot of military guys running around in their military attire, the camouflage, the digital and stuff. Um, they don't have to go in the office and wear their dress uniforms. It was funny. He 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 would have gotten in trouble because there are sticklers about it. He wouldn't have gotten that much trouble. He just wanted that particular BDU thing done because you had like 4 sets or 5 sets. You have one for each day. And I think I hadn't done the laundry or something. It's okay. And one time he took all of his uniforms to the dry cleaners on base. It was in Berlin, brand new ones. They did something and there were spots all over his uniforms and they would not come out. And he took them in there and there was no recourse. We had to buy all new uniforms again. I think that was why he didn't take them back and I had to iron his uniform and put starch on them. That's what happened. Yeah, because just the ironing alone wasn't going to make them completely wrinkle-free if he sat down for a moment. Yeah. Oh, he could bend his legs, but they were stiff. That was a whole can of starch, and it was a great big can. It was, I'd like to say it was at least 64 ounces. It was the biggest can of starch because they sell lots of starch. They did back then for the uniforms and things. What? See, I was planning on talking about plans, but my plans got rearranged into, I don't even, how on earth did we get, how did I get on the ironing of the uniform? That's really strange. It is. Yeah. Cowboy Starch. Good morning. Yeah. God makes the plans. Yeah. So God has plans for President Donald J. Trump. God has plans for Vice President Kamala Harris, and whatever those plans may be, I'm sure God is keeping them secret and they're between him and her. How about that? Him and her, and she may not know the full extent. Kamala Harris may not know the full extent of God's plans in her life. Whether she has her own plans and whether those plans get rearranged by God, same way with me, same way with you, or let's just say the universe. We don't know. You go ahead and make them. We'll see how it turns out. It's like when you're young, you want your life to be out a certain way. You have these dreams, and when you get older and stuff, it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. Of course it didn't. I don't know anybody who has a perfect life. I don't. Life don't always turn out the way we want them to. Neither do our days. But it's okay. Neither do our children's life. You say, well, I want my children to have this kind of life. I got plans for my children. And well, sometimes your plans don't plan out because they have plans too. And then God has plans for them. And then sometimes, you can have your plans and the universe or God, whatever you want to say, will sit back and let you go ahead and do what you want to do. And you see what happens as you do it. It's the cause and effect also. What goes up must come down. The cause and effect. You can say that. Everything you do, for whatever cause you do it, has an effect to it. It does. And whatever you don't do that you know you should do, that has an effect also. Actions or inactions. You wouldn't think of it that if you decide you're not going to do nothing, there's a frequency to that too. There is an effect. Universal laws. I like that, Alicia Honey. Yeah. Good morning, Blackjack Guitar. Yeah. It's like I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the whatever. It's going to be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. And there is probably not going to be sunshine today, but you can have it in your heart. You can. Yeah. The vibration, correspondence, mentalism, polarity, gender, cause, effect, rhythm. Uh, That's right, Ronnie, honey. That's right. You got it. You got to have some kind of plan. You do. You got to have some kind of plan. You can't just sit there and say, my life is boring. I don't do nothing. Well, then do something. Well, I don't know what to do. Well, try to find something to do. Because if you don't find something to do, you're just going to sit around and say, my life is boring. I don't do nothing. Well, it's kind of starts inside here. You may have to pray. Truly, you may have to pray to get the motivation to do something at times. You may. You may have to have a sit down talk with yourself too. Saying, okay, now why you think this life is so boring? You may have to take some inventory of yourself. Take a look at yourself, take a look at your life, take a look at the things that you have done. Well, I never done nothing, but I want to do something, then start doing it. Start finding something. Well, they say you need to take some on hobbies. What do you like to do? I don't know. Okay. What are your hobbies? I don't got no hobbies. If you have that spirit in you, that spirit that my life is so boring, life is boring. That's a really, 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 I'm telling you right now, that's a very heavy spirit to contend with because something on the inside of you has literally more or less sent you down and just like stomped you out. Especially if that does not leave you. You got to break through that. You got to push that thing, that spirit out of you. Get that thought out of your mind, get it out of the inside of you and start thinking, no, I'm not going to sit here and do nothing. I'm not. I'm not going to sit here and let my life waste away. All I ever do is sit here on this couch. All I ever do is sit in front of that TV. All I ever do is sit here and eat, and I just don't do nothing. All I do is sit behind this phone. All I do is sit behind this computer. All I do is lay in this bed. Well, I can't get up. Now what I'm going to do? I'm bedridden. I can't get around. I'm old. I don't have a vehicle. What am I going to do? Can you read? Can you find out, research stuff? Maybe there's things you find that might be interesting for you to learn, even though you may not be able to go anywhere, but they would pique your interest. There's something you can do. Maybe you can, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard because people are in all different types of situations in their life, and they may not know what to do. You may not know what to do, and you need advice. I'd pray personally. I'm a praying person. When it comes down to it, I'll pray and I meditate, and I've got to get to that space within my being. Sometimes, I have had to. You ever had this happen to you? When your life is so overwhelmed and you just can't take it no more, and you need a break, or something's happened, and you find yourself just sitting there in silence. You can't have no noise around you or nothing. I mean, you just sit there, just you and yourself. You might like have the TV on, but you're not watching it. Have some music, but you're not listening to it. But you can sit there for a day, maybe and a half, so that you can clear your mind. Just sit there in total silence. It's like when they tell you to when your router's not working right. If you call like the company, unplug your router, unplug it. Leave it unplugged for at least 30 seconds to a minute so everything can get cleared out. That's even with your router. And then plug it back in. Or when they're in a heated argument and you're told just cool down, don't say nothing, walk away. Take a break. Because if you don't, you're going to break. And you walk away, you take a break, maybe a couple hours or so, you have time to think about it and you're calm down. The same thing happens at times when you're find yourself in a rut. You need time to think. You need time with yourself to figure out what you're going to do. Nobody else can figure it out for you but you, because only you know what's best for you. Somebody may tell me, and I've had them tell me so many times throughout my life, you need to do this, you need to do that. This is what you need to do. Did you do this? I told you need to do this. You should have been doing something. I did do something. I did what was best for me. Sometimes other people's advice is not the best advice for you. I'm just telling you right now, it's not. And you know it's not, but you let them give it to you. And sometimes you may try out their advice and you find out, wow, that did not go well at all. Because it was their advice. It was their energy. It wasn't yours. It wasn't coming from you, from inside you. Therefore, it didn't go the way that they wanted it to go. It didn't heal you. It didn't. I've been there. I've sat there. That's what I do. If you're an introvert, you're an empath, you're an intuitive, you will sit there. You sit there And do your own little thing. Take time to yourself around a day or two so you can gather all your thoughts, figure out, you got to get to that space. You can't force it. You just got to push the brakes, or God pushes the brakes. The universe pushes the brakes. Okay, you need to pause right now. I'm going to set you down, and you're going to you're going to figure out your life right now. You're going to sit there. You're going to figure this thing out right now, because you cannot continue like this now. What you going to do? And you're going to sit there. You may find yourself crying. Find yourself crying. Find yourself praying. A good cry really does clear things up. It's like you send out the flood waters, and it pushes all the clutter away. It pushes it away. It just poof. You clean house. You clean your spiritual house of the clutter. Maybe floodwaters ain't a good example considering all the flooding. You sit down and you clean house spiritually. Sweep it out so you can think clearly. Yeah, it does. A good cry releases the negative. And you know it does. You know that does. When you have a good cry and you're praying and then you start crying, and then the breakthrough comes. It literally, you can feel it in your spirit. You feel like a big load has been lifted off of you. It does. It helps. It may not help some people, but it does help to let it all out. It does. You may not even have the words to say, but your spirit has it. Yeah. Um, a body in motion stays in motion. It does. It really does. You can't just sit there. You got to get up, move a little bit more each day. Even if it's getting up from the couch, walking into the other room, and sitting back down, it's more than what it was than you used to do. And some people, I've done it. You can't go out and walk or nothing. You walk back and forth in your house. That's exercise. And you can count how many times you walk back and forth. You may say, well, that's boring. Well, life's not always exciting. It isn't. You push through the boredom. Push through that spirit inside you telling you that's boring. Say, I'll show you, spirit of negativity inside of me. I'll show you how boring it is. Just because you're telling me it's boring, I'm going to do it even more. Now take that. Just because I'm stuck in this apartment, just because I'm stuck in this house, just because it's raining outside and you're telling me it's so boring you can't get out and do nothing, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to do something. Despite it raining outside, despite me not having a car, despite me not being able to go out, I'm going to walk back and forth. I can get the exercise. I don't have to go to a gym. I can walk back and forth. I can stand up. I can bend my knees. I can do squats. I can stretch my legs. I ain't got no weights. I can lift the canned goods. I can take a canned good and I can do some exercises. I can do things for myself. Spirit of negativity. That's right. That's right. You can do it. Sometimes you just got to push those negative thoughts out of your mind because they're not doing you no good. They didn't do you no good. They kept you down and brought you down. And you listen to them. Sometimes you've got to push them out of your head. Do not listen to them, because are they bringing you good in your life? Do they make you happy? Your life's so boring. And then you hear that thought coming in and you say, my life's boring. Well, who told you it was boring? God didn't tell you your life is boring. God didn't tell you you're so boring. Can you imagine having a friend saying or telling your child, you're so boring. You don't do nothing. What do you do? Nothing. How encouraging is that? It's not encouraging. No, it's not. And I'm not going to have a friend that's going to sit around and tell me that. You're so boring, you don't do nothing. I'm not going to let somebody sit around and tell me that. I'm going to get rid of that energy. I am. You got to stand up to it or it's not going to go away. I'm just going to tell you, you got to stand up to that voice. You got to stand up to that person. You got to stand up for yourself. You do. You got to have some plans. How about you plan? How about you plan to stand up for you? How about that? Stand up for you. so that you'll feel better on the inside. Stand up for maybe somebody else that you might need to stand up. Speak up. How about you speak up for yourself? It can start on the inside. It can. It should. It has to. It has to. You have to decide that on the inside. I'm going to do this. I am. No matter how minuscule it is. I'm going to do this. Because if I don't, I'm not going to. Even though I don't know how it's going to turn out, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm going to do it. It literally is that. It's like this. Let me hear. I got a visual just popped into my mind. I got a visual. You can say, oh, wait, this is my visual. This may be you right here. And you get the thought and you say, I'm going to do it. You may feel like this is your light on the inside of you. And you say, I don't do nothing, but I'm going to do something. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I'm going to do it. And I'm going to keep doing it. And before you know it, that's you. That's you. Your light got that bright. Your light may be like this. You may have something like that on the inside of you telling you can't do it. It ain't going to work out. And you may be less listening to it. And the more you listen to it, this happens. Your light might have been this bright, but you let the negative come in. And you listened to the negative. You believed it. And this will happen to your light. It's almost out, but you can still see it. Push it out it. It's got to start on the inside. You got to get that light. The more you push against it with the frequency, the brighter it's going to get. It's going to get it. It is going to get it, you all. That's how it happens. Oh, look, you're electrical beings. You are electrical beings. You are. Right, that's my visual. It's perfect. It is. It's how it happens, just like that. It is. Now, I think we'll conclude with that. I really do. Sarah, honey, you're welcome. That's how people feel. That's how they feel. But if you could see it, and then you find yourself glowing. Gina, you're glowing. Ronnie, you're glowing. Michelle, you're glowing. Sarah, you're glowing. I ain't seen that glow on you in a long time. You used to be all gloomy. You were sad. Wow, you're glowing, Blackjack Guitar. Wow, it's because it came from the inside. It's like that. You're welcome, musings. Yeah, that's right, Rena. We want to glow. We want to glow. So I'm going to go, and I hope this video helps somebody. I do. I'm sure it will. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. I guess I'm going to go down there and say hello to my husband and Rosie, honey. Thank you, Ronnie, honey. You remember that, you all. You remember that. Love you.